how to attract and retain customers, basic principles for business growth and success. And we are on part 3. We're going to discuss customer segmentation. We're going to start with customer profiling. Now, the customer profile is a goal-centered representation that helps the marketing and sales teams zero in on what a typical customer who matches the profile will respond to, such as what channels will reach them, what content will attract them, and what touch points will be most critical. So you need to understand your target market from the buyer's point of view. How do we reach them? What are the things that will appeal to these customers? So our customer segmentation, it's the process of dividing our customers into groups based on common characteristics so that you as a company can market to each group effectively and appropriately. So what will appeal to me, for example, as a middle-aged woman, maybe a middle-aged married woman with grown-up children, will be different to what might appeal to a teenager, for example. The way in which an organization would want to communicate with me will probably be different from the way that the organization would communicate to a teenager. For example, I'm not on TikTok, but I know that all the teenagers are. I know that there are adults on TikTok, but I know that all the teenagers are on TikTok. And I've also heard people say that Facebook is for old people, while Instagram is for younger people. So basically, what we're saying is that how you would reach different people would obviously be different. So first and foremost, you need to know your customer. And like I said, you can't serve everyone. So first and foremost, you need to understand what problem you are actually trying to solve. And secondly, who you are solving the problem for. And I'll repeat myself again. What problem does your product or your service solve? And secondly, who are you serving? Who are you solving the problem for? So you need to know your customer, and you need to think about things like, one, the demographics. How old are your ideal customers? What's their gender and their occupation? What kind are they? Do they work in the corporate space? Are they artisans? What's their occupation? Are they married people? Are they single? It's a mixture, or doesn't it matter? What's the income levels? Do you serve people that have deep pockets, or do you have a product that is it's a product that is a low cost product that anybody can buy? Is it for children? So you need to understand the demographics. So your demographic data is a socio-economic data, and you need to understand demographics of your customers. You also need to look at the psychographic. The psychographic data is information about a person's values, attitudes, interests, and personality traits. So your attitudes, your values, your beliefs, your interests and needs, your personality traits, that would be psychographic. You need to have an understanding of where your customers fall in that category, or in that you need to understand all these various values about your customer so that you can create content that will appeal to them. So if you have, for example, you have customers that want to live a healthy lifestyle, for example, then you can center some of your communication around being healthy. The behavioral. What are their consumption habits? What products or service channels do they prefer? What are their spending habits and history, and what's the average order value? So do your customers order in bulk, or do they like ordering retail? What's their behavior like? The behavioral data information describes the use describes how your customers or your consumers behave. So it's important that you get this information. Like I said, you can tailor your communication to them and reach them where they are. There's so much competition to attract everyone's attention. We've got so many things flying in front of us. We've got gadgets, we've got screens, we've got laptops, phones, iPads, TVs, everything. So much information is flashing at us. So in order to grab some people's attention, you really have to go out of your way. How about the geographic, for example? Where do these people stay? Are you selling to everyone in the US or in the UK or in Nigeria or in Ghana? Where are you selling? Who are the strong people that will buy from you? um how do you reach them? Are you selling online? Are you selling physically? So you need to consider the geographic parameters around your customers. And then of course the technographic. What social media platforms? I spoke about TikTok and Facebook earlier. Which platforms? So if you're targeting my profile, for example, maybe you might not really want to go to TikTok. Maybe you want to have something on Facebook. So the communication that you'd probably put on Facebook to target me might be different from the communication that you'd put on TikTok to target a younger audience. What browsers do they use? What are the preferred gadgets? So are they consuming media on their phones? Almost at about 80%, 90% of people consume a media on their phones. A very small percentage uses the laptop or the desktop. So if you're designing anything, it should be mobile friendly, or else it won't display well, and then you'd lose a customer. How frequently do these people pick up their phones? What are the lengths of the sessions? What websites do they visit, and all of that? So when you have a better understanding of all of this, you will be able to design your marketing strategy to target these customers and meet them at the points of their needs. Meet them where they are comfortable and where they are more receptive. We're still talking about customer profiling. So, like I said, we need to ask ourselves, what market does your product best serve? What market does your product best serve? And who needs the product and why? Why do I need to buy your service? Why do I need to buy your products? You have to answer that question. What problem is your product or your service addressing? What problem is it solving? And who does it solve it for? So, looking at this image, we can, target the right customer. So we've got three examples. We've got suburban online shopper, or spouse to be, or college student. So what this has done is try to profile these three different types of people that would need a particular product. And that's how you need to also profile your customers. Who are you selling to? Who has the problem? And how can you address the problem? How does your solution, your product, your service meet the customer's problem? How does it meet the customer problem? So you also need to ask yourself, what products currently compete in the market, in that market that you are also operating in. For example, a soft drink or a mineral drink now, or even a fruit juice. Fruit juice, there are so many alternative drinks out there. So while you're selling fruit juice, another product that's also competing for that same market is water. Because if I drink water, I'm not going to drink fruit juice on top of it. I'm probably be okay with the water. So fruit juice, water is a competitor. Maybe minerals is also a competitor. So what can you now do to leverage your own product above the competitors? What are the barriers and how would your company address them? How broad is your market? And answering, all of these questions around it will help you pin down the best way to target your customers. Now, this is a very lovely slide because it has, kind of broken down all the questions that we've talked about, and it helps you try to analyze everything. So this is a template that you can actually adopt in analyzing your customers. And we've got here the need. So is it going to be a fit? Is it a workable fit? Is it a complete fit? And then you give it a score. So I'm looking here. So is it a fit? So the need. The prospect doesn't acknowledge the problem you solve. So it means it's not a fit. So you give the person a 0 there. The prospect acknowledges the problem but doesn't consider a solution a priority. So yes, I know, yeah, I have a need actually. I acknowledge the problem. I have this problem. I need a pair of shoes. You've got it, but it's not a priority for me at this time. So the problem, so I can give it a 1. It's not a 0, it's not a 2. The problem exists and the prospects are searching for a solution. So that's a complete fit. The problem exists and I'm actively searching. The consumer is actually searching for a solution. So you give it a 2 and then you put your score in here. The time. Success can't be achieved by the prospects or your deadline. So maybe you've set a time and the prospect is like, no, I'm not in a hurry to get this thing done. It's not a fit. Workable fits. There is time to deploy your solution, but little or no buffer. So yes, you can actually meet the client's need within the desired time frame, but there is no leeway. There's if anything goes wrong, it's going to be a problem. So it's like a 50-50 chance. We could try. For example, I want to deliver the customer needs a pair of gold shoes. I have the gold shoes, but the customer lives in Canada and I am in France. I have to ship the item to from France to Canada, and it's going to take me 5 days. And the customer said she needs it in exactly 5 days. It's a 50-50. It could work well and it might not work well. Do I want to take the chance? But a complete fit will be is that there is time to deploy the solution and there is a buffer for the unexpected. So if something unexpected happens and the flights don't work or there's a hurricane and planes can't fly, we still have enough time to get the products to the customer. This would be a complete fit. You give it a score. The success. The prospect has no direct or related success in the area. Not a good fit. Prospect has no relevant success but knows they are hiring you to learn. Okay. And finally, the prospect has relevant experience necessary to assess your performance. So again, this talks about the knowledge that the customer has in assessing your product. The customer has worn a comfortable pair of shoes before, so the customer knows what comfort looks like, so they can assess whether or not this shoe meets their need or not. If it's a good fit, you mark it on a 2. And so you can go through this entire slide and assess the fits. So the higher the score, the higher the propensity of your customer to buy your product or service. Now let's look at another customer profile here. So what this has done is the products and services use. Customer uses Service Hub to streamline ticketing and service operations. Customer uses HubSpot to help keep track of contact data and understand previous customer interactions. Customer uses AirCloud's integration with HubSpot to power the company's call center. So actually this was taken from HubSpot as an example, and you can go to the HubSpot website and get more resources from there. So what they've done is that the demographics of this profile is that the person is in customer service and it's online retail located in North America and gender any. So that's the customer profile, and they've looked at the benefits that the customer has. The product that they are offering helps the customer to speed up their activity within the customer service their customer service activities, and they've been able to successfully address the pain points. Slow first call resolution rates in their service team. So that's usually the problem. The pain point is that the first service call is always slow and they want to speed it up so that they can attend to more customers. So that's the pain point, and they have been able to solve the problem for the customer, and this is the demographics of the customer. So basically what this has done is analyzed who the customer is, what the customer's pain point is, and how the product or service that they are offering can meet the customer's needs. And this is what we also need to do for our customers and our products and services. So the activity that you are going to do: create 3 customer profiles for your business using any of the templates above best suited for your value offering. Create a customer profile. So create 3 customer profiles. Highlight the key pain points for each customer. What are the key pain points that your product or your service is going to address? Analyze the demographics, the psychographic, behavioral, technographic, and geographic characteristics of each profile, and how you will use that knowledge to reach each customer. How will you tweak your offering, your communication to the customers based on their profile to best suit them, best meet them, at their point of comfort. and how will you solve their problem? How will your product solve their problem or meet, you know, solve their pain point? So that's what I want you to do. Please, like I said earlier, I plead with you, take time to do these activities. If you have challenges, Lady Shaya, I cannot do it by myself. I know sometimes it can be daunting. Get a friend and ask the friend or your staff. Sit down as a team and work it out together, discuss it, brainstorm. But you must make an effort to do these things, because if you don't, you're losing out. So try and sit down and get these things done. And if you are really, really, really having challenges, you can always hit me up and we can talk further. But of course, my coaching services come at a fee, but I will be solving your pain points. But please try and do the activities. So that's all for this session, and I will see you in the next session.